All right, here's my first reaction, my first look at the 2024 Baltimore Ravens schedule. Let's go ahead and do it. All right, so we got their preseason games. We got, remember, there's only 3 preseason games. They changed that, what, a year or 2 ago, where instead of 4 preseason games, you play 3. So normally we play Philly, we play Atlanta, sometimes we play Green Bay. I don't see no Washington Commanders on here, which may mean that we actually might play them this year. Because usually the Commanders, Redskins, whatever, are usually a team that's on our preseason schedule. So we got Philly at the bank, Atlanta at the bank, and then we go to Lambeau Field. We go to Lambeau Field for a preseason game. Interesting, in August. And then opening night to kick off the NFL season at Arrowhead, a rematch of the AFC Championship game that was held in M&T Bank Stadium, of course, in which the Ravens lost 17-10. What was it, 17-13, 17-10? I think it's 17-10, something like that. I don't even want to remember that game because the Ravens played so bad. Now they will be playing in front of a audience, national audience, NBC Peacock against the Kansas City Chiefs at 8:20 p.m. It'll be a great test to see where the Ravens are with Derrick Henry, with this new defense. We get a test. We get to face Hollywood Brown. Should be great. Home opener against the Las Vegas Raiders. Again, we're playing Gardner Minshew. Most likely it'll be the starter. I don't know, because Jimmy G's gone, right? We played Gardner Minshew like our second home game of the year last year when he was with the Colts. Gardner Minshew somehow just plays it good against us. We'll see. And then we get the Dallas Cowboys. I'm very surprised we're playing Dallas so early in the season. I'm really surprised we're playing Dallas so early in the season. Normally, when we play Dallas, it's usually towards the end of the year. We played them a couple years ago. I remember that game. Dez Bryant was supposed to play that game, and he didn't play. That's going to be a good matchup. That's going to be a good matchup in Dallas. You know, in Jerry World, the Cowboys play much better. That's going to be a tough test. That's a 405 game. That's going to be in front of a national audience in a way on Fox. Then we got the Buffalo Bills at the bank. Like, look at these games. We got Kansas City, the Cowboys, the Buffalo Bills. No Stephon Diggs. You got Josh Allen there still. I mean, Buffalo beat us a couple years ago in a game that we was winning so badly. We was winning like 20-3, something like that. We was blowing them out, and then they came back and won that game. Y'all remember that? What was that, 2022, 2021? Whatever year that was, where we were beating the brakes off of them halftime, and then we didn't do anything after that. Then we got to play the Cincinnati Bengals. Healthy Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. I mean, the Ravens got a tough schedule. Kansas City, at Dallas. 2 playoff teams from last year on the road. Dallas plays better in Dallas. Kansas City plays better in Kansas City. You got to play at the Bengals. You got to play Buffalo Bills, then the Bengals. Wow. All right, here goes the Washington Commanders, as I was mentioning. Washington Commanders. I mentioned they didn't play them in the preseason. Well, here's why. I don't mind playing the Commanders at their place because it's like a home game for us. I mean, is this really a home game for us? I mean, if we play them in DC, it's still a home game in a way. But that's gonna be a tough matchup as well. The Commanders, they just play good against us. We never blow the Commanders out. Then we got and that Buffalo game, by the way, is prime time at the bank. By the way, that Buffalo Bills game. So Lamar Jackson under the lights in Kansas City, and then at the bank against Buffalo. Then we got Tampa Bay Buccaneers, another primetime game on Monday Night Football, Raymond James Stadium. We played there a couple years ago. That wasn't against Baker Mayfield. That was against Tom Brady. I think it was his last year, and we beat him. We played in Tampa Bay twice in the last 2 seasons. I don't remember the last time Tampa Bay came here, but yeah, that's interesting. Usually they rotate these NFC, AFC games. Play a couple years, home team, did beat a road team a couple years. Play at Raymond James Stadium. Then we gotta go play the Cleveland Browns and back-to-back road game. This is tough. 3 out of the 4 games are on the road. Cincy, Tampa, Cleveland. Deshaun Watson beat us last year. In the more recent matchup between the two teams, Deshaun Watson in that second half was perfect. Came back, would it be a 33-31? But if you remember, we did beat the Browns in Cleveland last year. Deshaun Watson didn't play though. So I want to see how the Ravens play against the healthy Deshaun Watson. Should be good. Then we get the Denver Broncos. Who's the Denver Broncos quarterback? Russell Wilson's gone. I don't even know who their quarterback is. But Sean Payton's the coach. You know Sean Payton's always gonna have his teams ready to play. Now we got another primetime game on a Thursday night football for the second year in a row. Because didn't we play the Bengals last year on Thursday night at the bank? I think we did. This is two. Like we played the Bengals a lot on primetime. Like we had the playoff game in primetime a couple years ago. Tyler Huntley. We had. I'm pretty sure we had the year before that, or maybe that same year, we had another primetime game. We did, because that was at the bank too. That was Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson played against Joe Burrow in that same year that he got hurt. And I think we won that game at the bank. And then we lost the playoff game. Now we got the Bengals again on primetime Thursday Night Football. So that's going to be good. Then we got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Always going to be a tough matchup. The Ravens, from what I'm reading, the Ravens got a tough schedule. They do. Whoever's going to be, if Russell Wilson about that time, this is in November. Could be Justin Fields, who knows? But that's going to be tough. Cincy, Pittsburgh, rivalry games. 3 out of 4 games are rivalry games. You got Cleveland. You got Cincinnati. You got Pittsburgh. 3 out of 4 games are division games, and 2 are more on the road. That's gonna be tough. Then of course you got the Baltimore Chargers, as we call them around here. J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards. You got Jim Harbaugh. Yeah. Once again at SoFi, we played the Chargers last year in a gritty game. What did we win? Like 13-10. It was a low-scoring game. That's gonna be tough. The Harbaugh Bowl. That's gonna be tough. You're going to the Chargers. You're going to the Chargers, and yeah, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough, man. It's really going to be tough. It really is. Then we got the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, who knows? The Philadelphia Eagles always are a contending team. At the bank. Oh, and that Chargers game is another primetime game. Was that Monday Night Football? So I'm seeing the Ravens got a lot of primetime games, and we're gonna go back and recalculate all the primetime games. But Philly, 4:25 game, another semi-primetime. Philly Eagles, they built just like us. Mobile quarterback, usually great in the trenches. That's gonna be a tough game at the bank. The Ravens, for the second year in a row, got a late bye week, and I kind of like it. Last year we had a bye week late in the year. I think it was the same time frame, because I remember the Ravens had a bye week last year, and they had 4 games after. They had Jacksonville, they had 49ers, they had the Dolphins, and they had the Steelers. Same thing here. They got the bye week, I think around the same week, and then 4 games left. I like the bye week. The Ravens usually have a late bye week. Usually, the last couple of seasons, I like it. We get to really see how they are. They get banged up from playing all these games. They get a bye week, rest up. Then we go to MetLife Stadium against the New York Giants. Lamar Jackson's only NFC loss, only NFC conference loss was against the New York Giants, and that was 2022, where we were winning that game, and Lamar threw a pick and then a fumble, and then Saquon Barkley, and and they came back and won. So that's a revenge game for the Ravens. Lamar Jackson's only NFC loss was against them. So we'll see. Then once again, we got Pittsburgh again late in the year. We always get Pittsburgh late in the year at home. Like Pittsburgh is usually like late in the year or the very last game of the season, always at M&T Bank. But the last 3 or 4 years, Pittsburgh is always like, we get Pittsburgh at home always at the end of the year. Then we got the big one. That Pittsburgh game, by the way, is is on another semi-primetime game on Fox 4:30, which we never play. We never play the Steelers on Fox. That's kind of interesting. Usually when we play the Steelers, it's always on CBS or it's on NBC or whatever. We never on Fox. That's interesting. Then 4 days later, on a Wednesday, on Christmas Day, we play on, and that Pittsburgh game, by the way, is on a Saturday. But 4 days later, we play on Christmas Day against the Houston Texans. A rematch from Week 1, a rematch from the divisional game, both of which the Ravens won. But the Texans got one more year under CJ Stroud. They got some great pieces. Nico Collins. They got Stephon Diggs. That's gonna be a tough game. DeMeco Ryans can coach, and his team can play defense. That's gonna be tough. And then we round out the year at Cleveland. Who knows what that game is gonna mean? I know this last year, the last game of the season didn't mean anything to us because we had everything wrapped up. The best record in the league. All right, let's look at it. Let's first analyze this. So, first, how many primetime games, like actually primetime games, do the Ravens have? Excuse me. Kansas City Thursday night, Buffalo Sunday Night Football, Tampa Bay Monday Night Football, Cincinnati Thursday Night Football, Los Angeles Chargers Monday Night Football, and Houston Christmas Day. So that's seven primetime games. And now let's look at how many 4 o'clock games they got, which is semi-prime time. You know, because most of the earlier games are done. So out of the 7, so add in another Dallas Cowboys, that's 1. Eagles is 2. Pittsburgh Steelers is 3. So 10 out of the 10 games the Ravens play are prime time or semi-prime time, which I love. Lamar Jackson, the MVP. People want to see Lamar Jackson. The Ravens play good in prime time. So if it bodes well, the Ravens usually play good in prime time. So who knows? But I like the fact that the MVP is being showcased here. I also like the fact that most of these prime time games are at home. So we got, let's see, Buffalo is at home. Buffalo's at home. Cincinnati's at home. Hold on, let's go back. Buffalo's at home. Cincinnati's at home. Really, that's it? Well, am I missing somebody? I feel like I'm missing somebody. Buffalo is at home. Cincinnati. Yeah, you're right. And then so that's it. But either way, the Ravens play good at home, so it's gonna be great. Predictions, early predictions here. Ravens, Kansas City. Who knows? That could go either way. I feel like that's a revenge game for us. I feel like we can win that game though. I feel like we can. But I'm gonna give the respect to the Chiefs. They're the champions, 0-1. So let's see. Let's just count the wins. I got Vegas as a win. I got Cowboys as a win. I got Buffalo as a win at home. Cincinnati, I'm going to say that's a no. Commanders, I'm going to say yes. Buccaneers, I'm going to say yes. Cleveland on the road, I'm going to say no. Denver, I'm going to say yes. Bengals at home, yes. Steelers on the road, no. Chargers, I'm going to say no. Eagles, I'll say, that's a tough one. Eagles, I'll say yeah. That's 8. Giants, 9. Steelers 10. We got to sweep the Steelers this year. The Steelers have been whooping our ass for the last couple years. They've been whooping our ass the last couple years. We got to beat the Steelers both times this year to get revenge. Houston, I'm gonna say that's a no, just because CJ Stroud's a baller. They're at home. It's Christmas Day. They're gonna be jacked up. I hate to say it. I don't know what the Ravens gonna really look like this year. We lost some pieces. And then the Browns at the end of the season. So I'll say the Ravens will have 11 wins. So what is it? 11 and 6? 11 and 6? If I'm not mistaken, the NFC gets an extra home game this year. So the NFC should have 9 home games, right? This is the NFC's year. So Ravens have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so the Ravens are on the road for 9 times. So I'm gonna say 11 and 6. That's my early predictions. Toughest games is gonna be at Arrowhead, of course. Dallas is gonna be a tough game. Buffalo's gonna be a tough game, no matter where it's at. I feel like we're gonna win that game. Cincinnati, they got revenge because we beat them twice. Buccaneers is a sleeper game because it's Baker Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield is iffy. He can have a great game, he can have a bad game. Cleveland, both Cleveland games with if Deshaun Watson is healthy, is gonna be good. The Chargers game is the one. The Chargers and the Eagles game are the ones, to me, back to back. That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough. That really is. You got fly to California from Pittsburgh, then fly back to the East Coast to Philly. That's gonna be tough. And then obviously the Texans game. Yeah, 11 wins is being nice. Lamar Jackson MVP. Who knows? They can surprise and win 13 games again, but this schedule is tough. Early predictions. I'm gonna say 11 and 6. I gotta see how training camp. I gotta see who the breakout players are. I gotta see who stands out in preseason. We got Derrick Henry. Keaton Mitchell's gonna come back at some point. We still got the MVP. I might be underselling this team. Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry is a lethal combo that can run over any of these teams. If you feed the beast, if you feed the king like he's supposed to, this is underrated. They might actually win more games than I'm thinking, because Derrick Henry's just that damn good. So they could literally run over anybody with the Lamar Jackson Derrick Henry combo. Can they stay healthy? Can Derrick Henry stay healthy for the second straight year? Can Lamar Jackson play all regular season games like he did last year? And can the receiving core with Bateman and Zay Flowers take another step with Isaiah likely and his potential growing? What do you guys think? I'm thinking 11 and 6. I may be underselling because Derrick Henry is just that damn good, and you finally got a quarterback that you have to respect, which should create lanes for Derrick Henry to just run right over people. He should see open, clear lanes. He could easily average 5 yards a pop in this offense, and you still got Lamar Jackson who can still run the ball. If Rashad Bateman can be that #1 receiver with Zay Flowers, this offense is gonna be really good because you got the tight ends. Andrews likely. Derrick Henry is going to make a difference this team. I may be underselling this team just because of the schedule and how they got good teams back to back. Like, for example, you got Dallas and Buffalo back to back. You got Dallas, Buffalo, and Cincinnati back to back. Then you got Chargers and Eagles back to back. Then you got a rivalry game with Steelers and Texans back to back with Cleveland. That's tough. Which is why I'm even saying 6 losses. I may be underselling. The Ravens went 13-4 last year. Who would have thought that? So I don't know. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Tough schedule, no tough schedule. Let me know what you guys think. This is your boy Retro Recap signing off. Have a blessed night.